a scientist.
Suffice it that the blood of 1,000 men and women was spilled within these walls. Limbs twisted and broken, eyes gouged from bloody sockets, flesh burned black.
Please. You'll wait for death. In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. What you have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here. This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system. Tonight is Monday, January 21st, 2008.
What's up, guys? This is Jay Scott.
This is Trent Lackey.
You're listening to World of the Unexplained. In the new year, 2008.
I don't know why I decided to howl like a wolf, but, you know.
I don't know, man.
I thought about starting the show just like that. Just, you know, the music and go, oh! You know, maybe we should do some synchronized wolf howling.
We should.
I think I'm totally serious. Maybe Chuck, too.
Wolfman Jack, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I get
Anyway,
you right.
Werewolf in London.
Yeah, I saw this interesting show last night about hippopotamuses.
Really?
Yeah.
You were that bored.
It's an interesting show. Hippopotamuses are very interesting.
I bet.
You know that they kill more people in Africa than any other predatory animal? Were you aware of that?
I did not know that.
You think that all their...
I think it'd be elephants or something.
Nah, I mean, it's hippos.
I did not know that.
It has something to do with the fact that, they get too close to mother hippos.
So when they say you're big as a hippo, that's actually a compliment. You're a destructive beast of death.
What happens a lot of times is, like, people will be out there fishing on the rivers and the hippo gets too close. It's like, bye-bye, and then knock them over.
Like an alligator.
Yeah, knock them over, and then they drown in the water.
Sounds like somebody's been watching Undercover Hippo.
Undercover Hippo.
What?
I just thought that
on Discovery, because I've seen.
Is there a show called Undercover Hippo?
It's like the
guy
Ace
who gets in
Ventura
the
movie.
hippo cage.
Yeah, he gets in like
I
a
was trying
hippo
to find
suit.
his contact actually to line him up for third round.
It's a hippo suit though, isn't it? Isn't it a hippo suit?
It's like
well, it's not really a suit. It's more like a hippo cage, like
but
a shark cage.
It looks like a hippo though.
No, there was some guy who was doing that. I didn't see that one. I wanted to because he apparently is
one. It was like Ace Ventura.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly like Ace Ventura.
Oh my God, someone's actually.
But apparently he was trying to collect hippopotamus sweat. For some reason.
That's really nasty.
Yeah, this is exactly what you were watching, man. Yeah.
Okay.
You were watching Undercover Hippo, man.
Well, I watched
another. Know it.
Yeah, but I watched another show about hippos, like, after that. Yeah, like the Wild
Hippopotamus Weekend.
National Geographic Wild Discovery or whatever. You know, it was a nature show. So I watched both of those.
Well, anyway, speaking about being as big as a hippo, here's what we're going to do on WOTU. This is the WOTU, the 2008 WOTU Weight Loss Challenge. That's right. Because being a lawyer, sitting on your butt all day, eating crap food, gets you fat. So that's what we're going to do. I started today. Yes, D. Okay. So since all of us are in the wedding here, Trent, D, Chuck, myself, obviously, I've got to be there. Since we all got to be there, we got to look good. So we're gonna weigh in tonight after the show.
Really?
That's right.
We should do it during break.
We're gonna do it during the break so we can write it down and let all you know how big and fat really are.
I don't know if I really like the sounds of this.
It's gonna be cool. We'll keep track of it on the website, man. We'll get like email from the people that listen to our show. Be like, work that fat off there, or
want some more pie, fatty? How about a little more pie? Don't you want to eat Grandma's pie? Why don't you eat Grandma's pie? Grandma worked on it all day.
We'll keep track of this, and we've got to come up.
Story.
We have to come up with a long story.
That little snippet was based off of truth, but
Oh my God, we have to come up with a prize. I don't know. Maybe the 3 that lose pitch in and buy dinner for the winner. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, thanks for winning, losing weight.
It seems counterintuitive to the
Yeah,
whole,
that's true. Okay.
There's some gluttony.
Yeah.
We'll buy the winner a protein shake.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's stupid. We'll develop this as it comes along. But one thing I want to talk about before we get our guest on tonight, our first guest is basically we're having them at the same time, Shaun Jeffrey and Ethan Dettenmaier. All you guys know Ethan. Shaun Jeffrey is a writer. He writes horror books. We're going to be talking to him live in the UK tonight. So it's going to be pretty cool. He'll have a cool accent. We all like that.
Yeah. It makes for good.
It does. You know, whatever they say, we just take it as being the truth because it sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to be getting those guys on soon. But what I wanted to talk about is the Day of the Pods. Day of the Pods? Is that what you called it? March
the
11th? Is that right?
No, 10th.
March 10th.
Okay, March 10th, Day of the Pods.
You podcasters, you're getting ample time.
We're giving you time to
Listen
prepare.
in.
March 10th, Day of the Pods. That's when we want all the podcasters to listen at one time live, if you can make it, because we're going to be giving away all kinds of stuff. The Crack House is going to be in full swing that night because we want calls. We want you guys to call in, get involved. I don't know who the guest is going to be, but I'm going to make sure it's somebody very, very special to really boost it up.
Yeah.
It's going to be somebody cool. It's going to be off the hook. We may have 5 guests on that night just because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Serious.
5 guests.
March 10th is going to be the day, guys. So we're going to have to really, I'm going to plan this out with Trent and Chuck and Dee. We're going to get the best possible stuff we can get.
I think we should bring Chris Roller back for it, man.
You know what? I think he might like that.
I think he'd be down with it.
I'm sure he would. Some of the other listeners might not like that.
Down with the pods, man.
I know. Oh my gosh, Chris Roller. Oh me. Oh me. Oh my.
Yeah, he's into
Oh,
that stuff.
he was. I think that's in the top 5.
Top 5.
Go-to episodes of all time.
Do you think so?
Oh, I just said it.
Yeah. Chuck's opinion.
Let me ask you a question and then ask it. You know. Oh man.
It's a rhetorical device.
Let's stop with the redundancy here. Just ask the question and don't paraphrase. I mean, don't
let me
preface it.
Let me set up this question with another preface stating the question. And then I'm going to answer the question myself anyway after you hear the question. Scott, let me ask you a question. What's the capital of Mongolia? Well, if you don't know, it's Ulaanbaatar.
I did not know.
Yeah, it's Ulaanbaatar, guys.
Ulaanbaatar.
I think I think I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not sure.
Probably not. No, I'm kidding.
But you know,
Mongolia.
I don't really know Mongolia.
I'll tell you, there used to be a really cool Mongolian restaurant in Jacksonville, Florida.
There was a Mongolian restaurant.
Yeah, man, it's just down the road.
Are you
from
saying
where I
like
live.
Mongolian barbecue where they had the big flat skillets and they cook
it
with
was
those
cool,
huge...
dude.
Serve it on the stones? Is that what?
No, they served it on plates, but I mean they cooked it right there in front of you.
You put stuff on those, and it was like these big long sticks, right?
And they weigh it, and they charge you by weight, so you can put as much on there as you want. It'd be perfect for Trent, man. They had shrimp and steak and all kinds of meats. I mean,
wow, why don't they have a place like that here?
Well, you know, and they had it, and it went out of business actually, which really disturbed me, and it turned into like a sushi bar. That was my place, man. It was my boys.
They were just right up the road from you.
My Colombian boys used to hang tough.
That was a pretty nice restaurant, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about restaurants.
I have no idea.
Woe2 weight loss plan.
That's right.
Stop talking about restaurants.
The Woe2 weight loss challenge.
You know, there was a wonderful cracker and water restaurant. It was very lovely. They had
Chuck and I had some soup and salad today.
They had rice cakes.
They had rice cakes and those little, graham cakes.
Special K.
Special K. Yeah, it's
wait a minute,
bold
Special
Cheers
K. That's street slang. That's street slang for that. Cat?
Ketamine, maybe. Yeah, it is.
No, cat. What the cat?
Yeah.
What is it?
Ketamine, man. The cat tranquilizer.
Yeah, the cat tranquilizer. That's
Oh, right. I always thought that was an amphetamine when I was talking about Special K, which would be totally
it's cat
appropriate for a
tranquilizer.
Woe2 weight loss plan. After all,
Cat tranquilizer.
well,
Yeah, you can't eat if you're just drooling over it.
Yeah, exactly. I like to call that the Perry Farrell diet.
I thought that was red wine and cocaine.
Yeah, and some heroin thrown in there.
Okay,
That's Kate Moss, actually.
Oh man! All right, the Woe2 weight loss without cocaine or drugs or anything like
The
that.
non-Perry Farrell.
The non-Perry Farrell Woe2 weight loss challenge. That's right. We're going to publish.
Not
our
knocking
results.
Perry Farrell, not assuming that he actually does any of that stuff.
We're going to tell you guys how we did it
know.
too, and each of us may have a different plan of attack on this. I think we're all going to come up with our own. I don't know.
Well, we're going to try our different things.
You can use any plan you want.
any plan
Weight
we
Watchers,
want.
Jenny Craig. I don't care. Whatever you want to use.
I hate losing weight, though.
Sounds good to me.
I hate losing weight. I like to be fat.
I like to eat, Scott, and that's one of those simple
I like
pleasures.
to sit on the couch.
I don't really like sitting on the couch.
I don't want to go to the gym.
I don't like sitting on the couch, Scott. I just like to eat,
Well, you can still eat, man. Just eat healthy stuff.
Oh yeah. That was one of my little New Year's resolutions. I've actually been doing pretty well with that. But I'm also
stuff?
but I've been not compensating by eating less unhealthy stuff. I've been eating more healthy stuff, but I've also been eating the same amount of unhealthy stuff.
You know what my thing is? My thing is it's so bad for me is Hardee's, dude. With the thick burgers.
Oh, I know how you love the Hardee's.
Oh man, dude.
Oh yeah, the mushroom Swiss burger.
No, I'm talking about the big half-pound.
Well, I'm talking about the
monster
mushroom Swiss
thick.
burger, man.
He's talking about that $6 burger.
Yeah, dude. Oh god, it's good.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have those out in where Ethan's from. They have the Carl's Jr. Same thing,
Yeah,
same restaurant.
I thought it was Jack in the
Same
Box.
It's Roy Rogers, too.
Yeah, they've got that. Ethan's online too. All right, cool.
I'm having a problem getting through the country code.
Oh, you are. Don't dial the star thing this time. Just dial straight.
Okay.
All right. So now we're having a problem getting a hold of Shaun. Let's bring Ethan on real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Hey, real quick, what's the capital of Mongolia? I'm doing this crossword.
Yeah, spell Ulaanbaatar, Trent.
Ulaanbaatar, I think it's Ulaan.
Yeah, got it. That's good. Let me ask you another question. Anyone know where I can find a good Mongolian restaurant?
Well, no, not anymore.
No.
L.A.?
Not here, Ethan.
I guess
Not around
I'm gonna
here.
have to sit back and enjoy some $6 burgers.
That's right.
That's right.
Do y'all have those there at
Several.
Carl's Jr.?
What's that?
Do y'all have those there at Carl's Jr.?
Yeah, we have a Carl's Jr. here.
I know that, but do they do the thick burgers there?
I think they do.
Okay,
For
that's
those
what we
of
have
us
here.
that are gutsy enough, and I do mean gutsy.
Yeah, that would be me, Ethan.
Yeah,
those
Paris
people who
Hilton
are
did
brave
that
enough.
ad for him.
If you... Yeah, we have plenty of that. We've got plenty of things like that for you.
Cool.
Excellent.
Cool.
Hey, are you guys coming out? There's a possibility you guys might come out next month.
Next month.
What was the date on
on
that,
the
man?
radio.
I was just thinking about that today and how I need to check into that.
Yeah, well, can we discuss it, or should we just
don't know, I
save it for another day? I feel like we normally let the listeners in on our
Mad schemes.
Everything.
I mean, we're talking about $6 burgers, so this can't be too much more boring.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway, so how's everyone doing?
Good. How have you been?
I've got a slight hangover and something of a headache. I can't open this bottle of Crown. Other than that, I'm good. But I've got these vice grips.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Bring up the tools.
Get the tools. That's
That's why we evolved, because we made tools.
we have opposable thumbs and tools.
Yeah, tools. So.
Well, it's just cocktail hour and World of the Unexplained has gone so well together for so long now. I'd hate to give up tradition and do it dry.
He's saying he can't be on our show without being sloshed.
Right.
There may be something.
We're going to order up $6 burgers, polish off this bottle of whiskey, and happy Martin Luther King Day.
That's right. Oh, man. Oh, gosh.
I'd imagine that we've got a pretty strong audience tonight, being that the only thing to watch on TV is the Democratic debate.
Is that on tonight?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it just started.
Oh, man.
Oh, they got TiVo. That's
Hopefully
what
Joe
that's
Trippy
for.
read my article, man.
Oh,
He
man.
needs it.
Huh?
Hopefully Trippy read my article.
What article?
Evo it?
Give him a play-by-play, man, a playbook
Oh, you did?
to give Edwards.
God.
Yeah, man. He needs it.
Edwards definitely needs some help.
Yeah.
He's in bad shape. I don't know, though. I don't know what's going to happen in South Carolina. I'm really wondering about that.
I can't believe McCain won down there.
I can't either.
After 2000.
I totally thought
I did
Huckabee
call
was
it, though,
smoking.
I have to say.
You did. You
Yeah.
did. I was wrong. But it was close, man. 3%.
Got it. All right, it's open. Now we can start this party. Okay, you guys got some questions for me. I'm pouring them.
I do.
All right. We're going without ice.
We're keeping it
A lot of
neat.
effort to get that baby open, so we're going straight. No need to relax and enjoy it. We're going hardcore.
Well, St. John Smith, man. When's it going to hit the theaters?
Soon. Very soon. It's all wrapped wrapped up, ready to go.
Awesome.
We're in the process of putting the finishing touches on it.
And I can't wait to see this thing.
I want to thank you for being patient with it. Most people can't identify. I think I've said this before on the show. Most people really can't. They imagine they can identify with what goes into an independent movie, but they just do not grasp
I know.
the economics and the logistics and everything that goes into making a movie right. And it's very tough to keep any sort of efficient timetable. And now that it's almost behind us, thank you for sticking by it. You'll like it. You'll like it.
We're looking forward to it. Have been.
What?
He said, Trish said we were looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'm sorry, that's what I get for.
Well, we're going to have to bring you guys out to cover the premiere.
Oh, yeah. Well, my whole thing is I know that the fans that listen to our show are dying to see the thing, man. That's the, we get emails all the time about when's this movie coming out.
Yeah, it's been a lot longer than any of us would like, but then again, it's had problems, that no one anticipated and no one would have been able to prepare for. Sometimes lightning strikes a movie set, and rather than cash people out or turn people out, we stuck by our guns, waited for some people to pony up and get this thing finished. So now it's well worth the wait. I think you guys will like it, and hopefully this will come out before any of my other work hits the screen, and people are like, "What?
Why does this come out first?" Chad?
Yeah, but it's well worth it. Tell your friends, they can call me up personally and ask for their money back. Well, let's not go that far, actually. Forget I said any of that. They're not going to need to call me and ask for the money back anyway, so why even get into it, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Now, I think D's still trying to get a hold of. Did we get him?
I got him.
All right. D's got a hold of Shaun Jeffrey. So we're going to take a quick break here. It's about time anyway, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have both Ethan Dettenmaier and author Shaun Jeffrey. You can check his website out, by the way, at www.shaunjeffrey.com. That's ShaunJeffrey.com, I believe. And you can check that out. We'll be right back in just a moment with Ethan and Shaun Jeffrey. You're listening to And the Gang.
And the gang.
We'll be back after this.
Read my lips. Some men you just can't read.
Because people have got to know whether or not their presidents are corrupt.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down.
And you don't care about anything but making money, there will be a giant sucking sound going south.
Not what your country can do
Has
for
no
you.
environmental controls, no pollution controls.
I don't like it any more than you.
Yes, there was blowback.
Well, I'm not a crook.
What would we say here if China was doing this in our country or in the Gulf of Mexico?
The military-industrial complex not only controls our government, lock, stock, and barrel, but they control our culture.
Third Rail airs live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. Check out our website at thirdраilradio.com. Careful, it'll blow your mess right out.
Don't chase me, bro! Don't chase me! Ow! Ow! Ow!
And welcome back to World of the Unexplained. This is Jay Scott.
This is Trent Lucky.
What was that? Tonight we have Ethan Dettenmaier and Shaun Jeffrey, horror writer, with us. Shaun, you've written quite a bit of short stories, all kinds of horror stuff. You were telling me earlier during the break that you had you're up for a Horror Writers Association award, possibly. You're in the running.
Yes, I'm in the running at the moment for the Bram Stoker Award for my short story collection.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's nice that people have nominated it, to be honest.
Now, is this
recommended, I should say, because it's called recommended at this stage.
Which collection is this, Shaun?
It's called Voyeurs of Death.
Okay, so this is the
catchy title.
Oh yeah, and this is the one that they can buy this from your website, right?
You can go onto Amazon and buy it. Yes.
Okay, Voyeurs of Death.
Site. What's it about?
Yes.
It's a collection of short stories. Someone called it an eclectic gathering of the sinister, the erotic, and the magical, and the surreal, which about sums it up. It's got zombie stories, it's got clothes that take on a life of their own, it's got old pagan gods. Basically, it's a bit of everything in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Old pagan gods.
Yeah.
It goes real well with what I'm drinking right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Old pagan gods.
No, so this is how many stories are in this collection, this first one?
There's 15 stories in that one.
Okay. That's a pretty healthy dose to keep you up at
He was
night.
nice enough to send me a copy of that for Christmas. Hey, happy holidays. Here's Voyeurs of Death for you.
I just hope you read it by now.
Well, I've gone through it, actually. It is pretty interesting. There's some good stuff in there. I think, well, Jay, your fans certainly would appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got something for everyone in it.
I noticed here that you're a little nighttime reading for you, Ethan. Anyway, I noticed that. Would you like to read a story? I noticed that you grew up in a cemetery, Shaun. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the first few years of my life, I lived with my parents and my grandparents in the cemetery. My grandparents were the caretakers, so my granddad was like the grave digger and used to tend the graves and take care of the cemetery. And I had, in my younger days, helped him dig a few graves now and again. So,
wow! So you've actually,
for someone who writes horror, I don't think you get much of a better upbringing, really.
No, imagine so.
You've actually dug graves.
You can back up for extra cash, did you?
Well,
the medical lab wasn't too close.
Now,
that's a lovely ring. I'm sorry.
I always say that we lived in the dead center of town.
Now, how did you deal with that as a child, growing up around all this? Did you have the same kind of horror or mystique surrounding you about graveyards and dead people, or was it different because you were there all the time?
You don't think anything of it, actually, because you grow up around them. And so death becomes pretty matter of fact because you see that many funerals go through. I mean, I don't know whether at that age you really understand a lot of what it's about.
Yeah.
Because I was very young at the time. But you do sort of get used to seeing a lot of sad people, mourners, walking through the cemetery. And I always say that some of my first experiences of reading would have been from the gravestones, actually.
Oh,
wow.
So you learned to read by reading gravestones.
And I had probably one of the biggest playgrounds in the whole of the town that I lived in.
So did it bother you? True. Did you go there at night?
Did it bother me? No, not really.
Did you play there at night?
At night, I would have been out in the dark there sometimes, yeah.
Yeah? What happened? Tell us all about it.
Well, it's quite boring, really. Nothing does happen there. I think if cemeteries are going to... Well, I don't think cemeteries are haunted. I think if someone's died, if you believe in ghosts, the ghosts would be where the person had died. I don't think you'd find them in the cemetery. So
I wouldn't hang out there.
Quite peaceful places, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, that's pretty good logic.
Why would a ghost hang out at a cemetery? You know what I mean?
Unless he thought cemeteries were cool in life, and it's like, I'm going to haunt a cemetery when I die.
No. I noticed that I looking at some of the websites that you link to on your website. I noticed some of the better horror writers, in my opinion, Stephen King, Dean Koontz. I didn't know if I just briefly glanced at it. I don't know if Peter Straub's on that list or not. But these are, in my opinion, some of the better horror writers that are out there.
Yeah.
Where did you learn your craft from? Do you have anyone that you hold up as being some kind of inspiration in your writing?
Because I was widely read with all of them, I don't think I could hold up any one individual one, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I like to read from a broad range of books, whether they be horror, whether they be science fiction, fantasy, love stories, anything, to be quite honest.
Well, yeah.
If there is one, I suppose, who's got to be up there, it's got to be the cliche one, Stephen King.
Okay.
I mean, he single-handedly, he carried the horror standard.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I know that, as a writer, a former writer myself, I don't do it much anymore, but being an English major and doing a lot of writing when I was in college, I was a big Dickens fan, and when you find good writing, you seem to find good characterization, good dialogue, the things that are multi what's the word I'm looking for, guys? It goes over all categories.
Yes, I think there's a lot of underrated authors out there, though.
Oh, yeah.
People like British authors like Graham Masterton.
That's just a cool name, isn't it? Graham Masterton?
Yeah.
That is a cool name. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And you get your own Richard Lehman, who died a few years ago, who was a very good author. I mean, he was very underrated in his own country over there in America, but he was a lot more widely known over here.
Huh.
So have you ever read much of Robert E. Howard's work? Are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not really familiar with that one.
I was just curious.
Chuck just bobbing in there to
just throw a question.
Ethan, you still with us, buddy?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm with you. I was into the cemetery bit, and now we're talking. Chuck's mouthed off about something.
Some kind of crap. Yeah, it's because he's a sailor.
No, I hear that you're working with Ethan to get develop some kind of movie here.
Yes, we're working on developing a script at the moment for one of my unpublished novels called Deadfall.
Can you tell us about that?
Basic summary of the story is that the hunters become the hunted when a team of mercenaries stage a rescue mission, and then they find themselves field testing an experimental army.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't go wrong with experimental armies.
Well, sometimes I try to.
That ain't just the whiskey talking. Let me tell you.
All right.
I don't know. Universal Soldier was pretty bad.
Universal Soldier.
Don't even bring. Did you just bring up Universal Soldier?
He did. He's
awesome.
awesome.
Is that what Jean-Claude?
Chuck's got his own mic, man.
I'm telling
he's
you, he's like a sailor. He's wearing this sailor hat. He feels like he's just gonna.
I took it off to put the headphones.
But still,
How does Chuck pull up Universal Story from what Shaun Jeffrey just said?
I don't know.
No idea.
Experimental armies, man. Wasn't that the whole gist of the movie?
I tried to forget that film.
It's like Howard the Duck on speed.
Scott
Howard the Duck.
I'm sorry, but Scott used to like Howard the Duck.
I have heard the rumors.
The first time he brought it up
I did not like Howard the Duck. There was one scene in Howard the Duck that I thought was very funny. That's all.
That's enough for you to like it as compared to everybody else who thought it was like the worst. It was the turkey of that decade or something.
It probably was.
Decade.
The century. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, because Battlefield Earth was also...
Ishtar came out in the 80s, too. Don't forget that.
You know what, as bad as Battlefield Earth was and Red Planet and other Warner Brothers hits.
Oh, Red Planet was awful.
Oh, in the depths of space.
Warner Brothers was on a tear right there. I'd watch those movies any day over Howard the Duck.
What did they say? What did our friends say when we saw Red Planet? In the depths of space, no one can hear you yawn.
Something like that.
Basically,
it
was pretty appropriate.
We actually paid money to see that in the theater.
No, it was awful.
Who paid money to see that?
We did.
Trent, me, and a friend Derek.
Schmoes that we are.
It was bad. It was terrible.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Howard the Duck.
Sean.
Apparently, Scott likes one.
Somebody who will remain nameless for the remainder of the hour mentioned Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
yes, that person will remain nameless.
That's right.
Yeah. So Sean, where's the best place to go to find out? I know you've got your ShaunJeffrey.com website. Is there another website that you have linked up?
You go to the MySpace one, and we'll set up a MySpace site for the Deadfall one as well.
Okay, what are those addresses?
The MySpace one is experience_Deadfall.
Okay.
If you go to my website and click on the MySpace link...
it'll take you there.
It's on the front page of my MySpace.
Okay.
And it's an interesting story, I think, and I think we've got a couple of neat subplots in there and a few twists that I hope bring something a bit fresh to the genre.
Okay. Now, you've got some samples available on your website as well?
Yes, and sample chapters and stories. There's a few short story links on there that'll take you to a couple of short stories that I've had published on the web as well.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, how did you start doing this? What made you say, "Hey, I want to write horror, fiction, or just fiction in general"?
Because I think I'd always read horror, and because it was something that I enjoyed reading, and it was just one of those cases where I thought, well, it went through a stage where horror sort of went and dropped off, and it went a bit bad in my eyes.
It couldn't have had anything to do with you helping your grandfather dig graves as a kid. So,
Well, you never know. Subconsciously, anything could have happened to turn me into the person I am.
That's true. Actually, where do you get your ideas for your stories? I mean, do you just kind of pull them right out of your head, or how's that work?
They just pop in there.
Oh.
To be quite honest, every now and again you can hear a conversation, you can see something, you can read something, and it'll just spark something else off, and then it goes off at a tangent, and before you know it, you've got a story idea.
Oh.
Some of us come up with, like such as Sean, come up with great literary works. Others, like Chuck, pop off Universal Soldier.
Wait a minute, I thought he was going to remain nameless.
Don't blame me for that. I didn't make the movie.
You can remain nameless until I call you out for a crime.
I don't know. Me with horror ideas, I just I'll be walking down the street one day, or like I am now, I'm thinking, what?
Man, that movie with that duck.
No. I'm like, what would it be like if I picked up this knife sitting beside me here and stabbed Chuck in the face like 6 times? What would that look like? No.
Where are we going here?
I don't know, Scott.
Somebody definitely needs to call a therapist.
Just the psychosis I go through on a daily basis. I'm driving down the road, see a little puppy. I'm like, God, you know what? What would if I hit that and ran over it 6 or 7 times?
It always has to be 6 or 7 times, Scott. You know.
Yeah.
On behalf of the human race, thank you for not experimenting with knives and little dogs.
I'm kidding and joking.
For keeping that urge in check.
I'm joking.
At the end of the day, you got to have a good imagination because you got to imagine what it'd be like.
Okay.
Well, I mean that's true though. I mean, you have to delve when you're dealing with horror. You kind of have to delve into very dark mental places. Sometimes
you don't go around killing people. You don't go around meeting monsters that run down the alleyway at you. So you've got to try and create these things. Really,
you got to spend more time in Hollywood, Shaun.
I think
I saw a pretty good amount of them when I was in England.
I
there's a lot of monsters over there.
I think that I think the thing that scares us the most is the real life realities of some of these things. I think for me that's the reason, because I'm Christian, and that's the reason that when I saw the Exorcist movie, it scared me so much because it's something that could really happen. And I think that
supposedly,
yeah, if you look at real life,
but you're not Catholic.
It doesn't matter.
They were all Catholics in that movie.
It's demonic possession, man. Read the New Testament, heretic. Anyway, so wow, Ethan's favorite movie, by the way.
Talk about bad films.
I knew as soon as you got on that Exorcist trip on purpose. This whole thing with the Exorcist was just a chance to jab me.
It was
a setup.
It was a cleverly disguised plot to bring up the heretic.
Christian Exorcist. Where is he going? Oh, I know it. I saw the train. You telegraphed the punch the whole way.
Yeah,
and it still hit you.
I knew as soon as we barked at Chuck for Universal Soldier or basically anything Chuck says, and you brought up Howard the Duck.
Yeah, and it just started going.
Oh.
But really, real life experiences, and you think about some of these things, and you have to take them to that next level. I don't know. I mean, you think of the bad people in the world and the things that, you've got real life monsters out there, like Jeffrey Dahmer, any of these little pedophile child molesters running around there. There's hundreds of them. You've got all these people that do really bad things, and people that fly into airplanes, into buildings, things like that.
Pol Pot. I don't know how I threw him in there, but he's a monster, No,
but you know what, though? That's a good one, because that's actually something that people need to be aware of, is the situation with Pol Pot. But anyway. No, I'm serious. On the human rights level.
Yeah, totally. I mean, but he's a monster.
Very good one.
But he just happens to wear a uniform.
Being people we never expect as well.
Yeah, true.
Right.
And shifting gears back to you, Shaun, I mean, do you find yourself trying to get inside these people's minds to a degree to see how they think, to kind of see, well, what would I do if I were X?
That's what you have to do, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So there you have it.
Feeling a little unnerving. No.
Now we know why one guy is a published author and another guy gave it up to be an attorney.
That's right. It's okay.
But then one of us will be earning
Which
a lot
is
more
more
money
horrific? I don't.
Not this attorney. But no, I met this really nice lady the other day that's in a office condo about 2 buildings over. Mm-hmm. And she's actually from the UK, and she was telling me there was a difference between a barrister and a solicitor. I didn't know any of this. She was apparently at one time she was the barrister, I believe, is the lower one. Am I right on this, Shaun?
Say that again, sorry.
Is it barrister, and then the solicitor does the high cases, and the barrister does like the lower cases?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, she was telling me about
the guy who stayed out of trouble.
When I end up in court, I'll let you know.
Okay. Now, let me ask you another question. I don't know if you're around the area, and I don't even know the area that it's in, so I can't. My geography is just bad, period. I know where California is, and I know where I'm at, so that's about it. But
all that crap in the middle.
And the stuff in the middle, I don't care. It
doesn't matter.
Forget
about you, South Dakota.
That's right.
No one cares where you are.
I don't know English. I don't know English geography. I don't know. I really don't know European geography that well, honestly. But in the 1970s, there was Highgate Vampire. I don't know if you're familiar with the story.
Highgate Cemetery.
And Highgate Cemetery.
Cemetery in London.
Okay,
I'm not
London.
familiar with it. I have heard of it.
Okay. Are you familiar with the story?
Only vaguely, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were around. I know you were probably really young.
I wasn't around in that time.
Okay. Well, I was trying to.
The story.
Well, this was the guy I was telling you about it. I interviewed Ethan a long time ago that said he had staked a vampire there in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And went on
in Highgate Cemetery.
How'd that hold up when Homicide arrested him?
They didn't arrest him because they couldn't find a body, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was some kind of a conflict between him and another...
Yeah, there was another guy that claimed that he...
vampire.
It's pretty wild stuff, man.
Well, this one you really should take from the beginning, because I don't know what the hell you're talking. There's another guy, and then there's
some stuff, and then
you're just gonna have to go back and
glowing
find
red
Let me
eyes.
help you through it. Okay, 2 British dudes are kicking back at Highgate Cemetery.
Okay, that's basically. They used to be buddies. Now they're not, because they're both vampire hunters.
I think the main contention was the fact that one claims to have actually slain a vampire in the traditional sense
With
that
a
we know it,
stake
and
through his
another
heart.
person, the other one, claims that it was a psychic, mystical, spiritual, incorporeal
type thing.
vampire.
Yeah.
So
they disagree on what it was and who killed it,
or if it was killed at all, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did they find the person in the end?
I'm sorry?
Did they find the person in the end?
No, they never found a vampire.
They never found a
No.
body or anything
This
like that.
happened at Highgate or Haight-Ashbury. I can't figure it out. How good does vampire hunting actually pay?
No, apparently not. Well, he
No.
wrote a book about it, so
Well, both of them did, I thought.
Well, what's the title? They wrote rival books.
Yeah, actually they did.
What are the titles?
One of them is what is the one Highgate? What is it? Something Highgate Cemetery?
I thought it was just called the Highgate Vampire, but I mean it's been so long since we looked at the books.
But one claims he took a chunk of wood and stabbed somebody thinking it was a vampire.
Yeah.
No, he claims it was a real vampire, and then he claims
he found it in its casket, and he put the stake on him, and he
then he
drove it down, and then the guy disintegrated.
And then he went on to kill the vampire's minion later on,
who turned into a giant spider, actually.
Now, Jay,
Yeah.
you're the attorney here. Now, how does that defense sound to you?
Sounds like I would plead insanity, probably. No jury's ever going to buy that. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just
Unless
telling
you
you.
can prove.
Now they might buy that you're crazy.
And the rift is just over what it actually was that they allegedly slayed, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot more to it now.
And he's got
they've been
pictures.
slinging a lot of crap at each other for a long, long time.
You should check that out, Sean. I mean, really, if you get a chance, it's
Have a look into that one.
it's pretty crazy. It's between him and David Ferrant. We've actually got some old on our podcast from the past episodes. There's stuff up where you can actually download that stuff.
We've interviewed both
got
of them.
4 hours I think total from both of them.
Yeah.
Really interesting
It
stuff.
was all one was pre-recorded, one wasn't. But I mean, we've interviewed them both. So.
How were they?
Good.
Oh, excellent! They're very,
very nice,
very charming,
yeah.
very friendly people.
Yeah.
See, I think I'd be like permanently disturbed if I killed someone with a piece of timber through the heart.
We're not really killing a person. You're killing an undead
I think I'd be even
demon
more
spirit
disturbed
thing.
if, disintegrated on me.
Yeah, well, that's what's supposed to
I
happen.
don't think I was stuck much of an interview ever.
Man, I just hated that dude, so I was going to stab him through the heart, but he went up and disintegrated
on me. I mean, that would really that would be shocking to say the least.
Well, let's shift gears back to Sean. Sean, what do you have any stories that you center around vampires, werewolves, any of the
traditional fair
classic monsters?
Unexplained, if you will, fair?
Not vampires or werewolves, no.
Okay, so any just centered around what mainly, I guess, do you tend to center your stories around?
Every single one varies, to be honest. I've got a novel that I wrote that I'm still waiting to have published called Fangtooth, which is about ecological horror story about the repercussions of overfishing and what happens when the fish mutate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I've got another one called The Cult, which is about a family...
Not the cult we all know.
Yeah,
no, different.
Retribution on people because they're a deformed family, and they get retribution on people by killing them, and they're trying to resurrect the spirits to use them as a weapon. So
oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Varied type of things that I write about, really.
Kind of like the Kopecks from The Burbs. You remember the neighbors that Tommy got? Anyway.
Oh, that's fun.
I've never seen The Burbs.
That's a really good movie, by the way.
I've never seen it.
That. It's good.
I mean,
good. Satan is our pal.
Yeah, exactly. There's just some really great one-liners out of that thing.
Yeah, well, 2 of my buddies are in it, not to mention somebody from our...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Kevin Gage isn't it? He's a cop in it, right?
Yes, he's...
The end. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Let's not get off topic.
I'm sorry. We're so organized here all the time.
Yeah.
On his website, there is a reading of that Fangtooth.
Oh, and Dee was just pointing out, our producer was pointing out that there's a thing that says a Fangtooth excerpt on the website. So for any of our listeners that want to check that out, go there and you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can they order the books directly from your website as well, Shaun, or is the best place for them to go is just Amazon?
There's 2 books that are available. There's that short story collection, Voyeurs of Death, which there are links on my website to lead you to it, and my novel, which is called Evolution.
Evolution. Cool title.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, available through my website with different links. People say that's like a mixture of the films The Fog, Outbreak, and 28 Days Later, which is a pretty fair comparison.
Okay.
All right, well.
And what time is it there? Because I know you're on live with us.
It's coming up to 5 to 2 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, gosh.
The party's just starting over here. We got a couple people in UK we can call.
Exactly. It's almost 2 a.m. Their bars are shutting down.
Yeah, they'll be out. The phone's ready. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know what's.
They're rock stars. I'm sure they're passed out in the street by now.
Yeah, they probably are.
Or just getting up, one or the other.
So what? So when is this project that you guys are collaborating on? I know it's in the beginning stages. When do you think you'll have something together to actually? What's your projected date to actually start?
Actually, the development's actually progressing pretty quick. But we should have something. We should be able to give you an update on it somewhere around May, I would think, in terms of where production stands on it.
Right.
And, some of the key elements of people that are looking to get involved with it, celebrity-wise. And then we should have something more to discuss and more of the story. But for those of us who want some, advanced insight, I would say check the MySpace page in the next day or two.
Okay. Fair enough.
And you'll also on there see Jason's review of Howard the Duck.
That's awful. You're just a mean little man. That's all there is to it.
I'm not that little.
Yeah, neither am I. That's all right.
Wotu Weight Loss Challenge.
That's right. Wotu Weight Loss Challenge. You need to get on board with us, Ethan.
Weight loss challenge.
I know.
Yeah, we're getting thin before my wedding.
All their burgers.
That's right. We're getting thin before my wedding.
Apparently having to lose weight or some
right.
crap
You're getting
like
married.
that.
Let's not forget that.
That's right. You're going to be there, man.
Something to.
I told your wife about it the other day, and she's like, "Oh, really?" It is all news to her. I'm like, Ethan hadn't been talking about it. He's just been.
That it was news. It's just that I think with everything going on, she probably didn't put 2 and 2 together on it.
Nah, it's cool. Listen.
About it May 10th, right?
May 10th. Shaun, I want to give you the last word here, and we're going to let you go and get some sleep. So go for it.
I'd just like to say, everyone, keep in touch with the film and sign up to the site so you keep up with the updates, and hopefully we'll have something later on in the year.
And I want to say real quick that thank you to Shaun Jeffrey for bringing an element of British class to an otherwise cankerous show.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Awful.
We pride ourselves on our
juxtaposition of 2 guests. You got me, who was having trouble getting his bottle of Crown Royal open, and you got Shaun, who really brought some intelligence and class and artistic behavior in on this whole thing, and just very interesting stuff. Growing up in a graveyard, I think that you deserve a big hand and a big vote of thanks for actually keeping us on message tonight.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, thanks for having me on the show anyway.
Anything
Absolutely.
else? What else you got for us real quick before you go?
Do what?
What else you got for us, Shaun?
Something else for you? Well, you can check my novels out if you haven't already.
There you go.
All right. And you can go to www.ShaunJeffrey.com. That's ShaunJeffrey.com and check that out. And there'll be a link up on our website later for you guys to check out if you want to check that out. Now, actually, I think there's a link up now on the guest link. Yeah, it's already up. So you can click on that on our guest page, and it'll take you right to his website. Shaun Jeffrey, it was great having you on. We want to have you on back in the future, if that's okay with you.
Thank you very much for having me on anyway. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
Oh, absolutely.
Take care. Thanks for staying up late for us, buddy.
No problem.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.
All right, and we're going to be back. Ethan's going to hang with us for another hour. We're going to be back here in just a little bit. You're listening to World of the Unexplained, and hang tight. We'll be back.
I just can't get enough of that song, guys. World of the Unexplained. Trent Lackey here, and Jay Scott's over there, and Ethan's going to be back over here. We were just talking to Shaun Jeffrey, straight out of the UK, late at night. Thanks again for him staying up and talking to us a little bit.
Definitely.
And, well, there he is.
There he is. Ethan, what's up? Oh, man, you couldn't have planned that better. That's great.
What? Huh?
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
He dropped his highball.
It's already empty. I want to apologize to your audience for having to bear with me when I'm having an off night.
Oh, no,
A lot of location scouting, climbing through swamps, and
oh man,
rough couple of days. But thank you for your tolerance.
Did you say you're climbing through swamps?
Walking through, climbing through swamp, doing a bunch of
swamp hiking.
So I'd imagine during the break you guys had the debate, do we bother to bring the guy back? Or, well, we did say he'd be here. We don't have anybody else. Okay, plug Ethan back in.
Call him back, D. Call him back.
But props to Shaun Jeffrey for staying up till 2 in the morning. Time to tell us a little bit about his work. And pretty interesting, growing up in a cemetery, I mean, you hear about stuff like that, but you don't always know someone who's done it. You know what I mean?
That's true. It seemed pretty matter of fact afterward, because I guess, when you're young, you don't have the same kind of, built up reputation of the graveyard's scary. It's like, it's not.
It goes back to, that, how do we
spit it out, man? Come on.
Phrase it properly. I mean, the human conditioning, if you're exposed to something in the proper setting, it doesn't matter what it is. You can either embrace it or, it can become a part of your makeup and just not bother you.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
And but very interesting story to hear. And now
like the heretic that Ethan grew up watching.
Yes, love it. Give me
pretty
more
much
of the heretic, please.
What?
We're done with that. We're going to watch a little Universal Soldier.
I'll bring the Howard the Duck.
Hey,
DVD
we were just asking.
I was going to say Howard the Duck, but I don't think Howard the Duck's available on DVD. Otherwise, people would be using it.
I can't remember, but was Jean-Claude Van Damme in Universal Soldier?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, all right.
Yet another failed movie.
Just checking about that.
Van Damme.
But no, you worked, Ethan, with Jonathan Davis at Korn, right?
That's right.
And I know, just from his bio and following the band, he was a mortician for a period of time, wasn't he?
He was. That actually came up over lunch one day.
How?
Oh, this looks like something that I remember.
I was I was a mortician once, and then.
What's that? I'm sorry.
So this looks like, this lunch looks something like I remember from my old job. How does that come up over lunch?
You forget how a lot of these elements get triggered. But at one point we were talking over lunch, and he was telling me the story and how at first he didn't like it, and he was kind of somehow, which I don't understand how you take that job if you didn't. Somehow he got that job. Hated it. Without trying to embellish the reasoning behind it. He got the job, hated it, for a long time, and then kind of started, I guess, to be able to work through it. But it definitely probably left a mark somewhere in his subconscious. But
yeah, basically.
He was telling us stories about how, I guess too many bodies would come in sometimes, and he wouldn't have a place to put a lot of them. So sometimes he'd just put them on, like, the picnic table or, on the... Maybe I shouldn't maybe we should save this for his interview.
Oh, man.
I don't know, because, if I'm remembering it right, that was said, and I don't think, I don't know how much of it was him, being Jonathan Davis and kidding with me, or him telling me the real,
the real deal.
The mortician flashbacks. But he would tell me at one point, one of the dilemmas he had, we were all sitting there at lunch going, that's interesting, Jonathan, where he just had too many bodies trucked in at once, and he had nowhere to put them. Now, me, I'm just going to stack them a la military style until I get them all processed, right? Like the government does with so many different things. But for some reason, he was telling me he put them on, like, the dinner table and put them on he just had to situate them somewhere. I guess his thinking was keeping it off the floor. But, it's been a couple of years since we had that talk. So maybe we should talk to him directly about it. Let's call him up.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Man. He was a mortician, that's right.
This is really, I'm just looking at the Howard the Duck.
He is. I'm actually.
He really is looking at.
I am.
At the internet movie
because
database.
I am, because it looks like this guy, the director, had something to do with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, that was what
a way to go the next year to have Howard the Duck come out.
That was the worst of the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but Temple of Doom was not that good of a film.
Well, he didn't direct it, whoever he is.
It's Willard Huyck, Huyck, Huyck.
Well, those crazy Dutch names sounds like.
Well, the Germans got cheated out of this, man, because their runtime's only 109 minutes, whereas ours is in the U.S. is 111. We got the extra.
The Germans like efficiency.
Yeah. Even with their bad films.
Serve up crap to Germany, they're going to cut a couple minutes out of it because everyone's got to get back to work.
And what's even?
This is not enough time to sit here and listen to. What the duck? Quickly, Hans, cut 2 minutes out.
What's even worse is this film apparently cost $37 million to make.
No way!
It was one of the biggest box office flops of the 80s.
A joke. That's where it starts. This whole story gets a little tragic because even in today's market, $37 million should buy you one hell of a movie.
Oh yeah.
For that kind of basically tub of crap.
Well, apparently Frank Price, the head of Universal Pictures at the time, the studio that funded the film, he quit after the movie was released.
He jumped out of a window.
The term is quit.
Fired.
But I'm sure that's the term he likes to say at cocktail parties.
I quit.
I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, you're sitting around the Christmas party and going, Frank, what the hell is your problem? What were you thinking, Frank? It's like he's in line along with the guy who approved and supervised the production of Howard the Duck. He's along the line with that idiot who passed on E.T.
Exactly.
It's like these guys that are just there's a sort of a fraternity of people who've just made notoriously bad, not decisions that turned out to have somewhat negative repercussions, but we recovered from it. But guys that just made like landmark horrible decisions in Hollywood. I don't want to make E.T. I don't understand it.
St. John Smith is up 7% since last week on the movie meter.
Is that IMDb?
Yes.
.com?
Yeah, it is.
It's not even that website. It's amazing that's like the Bible of the industry because it's not even accurate half the time.
I know. I've heard that before.
According to IMDb, I'm doing like 4 or 5 other movies that I haven't even started yet, and none of the ones I'm doing are on there. I'm like, you look at IMDb, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I get confused.
Let's find out what they say you're doing.
It's the Wikipedia film reference.
It really is.
Is everyone that bored that we got to look at my?
No, I want to spot on IMDb. I want to be on there.
There you are,
Howard the Duck, man.
Don't you guys have IMDb pages?
No. Hey, man, you're up 29% since last week.
You're up 29%.
Yeah.
If you jump like that usually means you've been, convicted of a crime.
Yeah.
Or for some reason you're making headlines doing. It must be World of the Unexplained.
It must be us, man. Hey, we're boosting you.
What are these Hitman Chronicles you were involved with, man?
Yeah, we're seeing that.
Is it a video game?
No, that's a film.
It is a film.
And is this Job or Job?
Job.
All right, Night Fever, St. John Smith, and Little Iron Men. That's what we've got here.
Yeah, Little Iron Men. World War II movie. Hardcore. You'll like it.
Cool.
Brigade's not on there yet, but that's probably one of the more intense films we're in the process of doing. That's the one about the...
There's a picture of you and your little girl here. That's cute.
Yeah, there I am.
That's cool, man. That's real cool. So now I'm going back though. What's Job about? Tell me about that.
That's not mine. I didn't script that.
I see.
Our
producer
company is trying to engineer the deal to execute production on that, but that's not really. There's people on that film you can speak to that are more qualified to really give you story elements to it. I mean, I know what it's about. I've read the screenplay and I've talked to the people involved, but I'm not the creative force behind that. If you want some insight, man, let's take another. You know what? Hey, here's something.
Okay.
The other night, right? I'm having a couple of beers.
Okay.
Not to surprise anybody. I fall asleep, and I wake up for the last 15 minutes of that Darren Aronofsky film, The Fountain.
Okay.
And I've never been more spaced out and confused in my life. Has anyone seen this movie?
No, I can't.
Can we get a call and tell me what the hell that was about?
D's seen it. Hang on, we're going to pass the mic back.
I watched it and I still couldn't tell you what it was about.
I
was totally confused myself.
I never thought I'd ever see a sci-fi movie that made 2001 appear totally sane.
I think it's to do with something about the Tree of Life or something weird like that.
There's definitely a tree in the movie.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes, you actually go, oh, okay.
And I was actually quite horrified to wake up mid-stupor for the last 15 minutes of that film, and I was like, this must be what they're showing political prisoners in the Middle East. I mean, I could not grasp any I mean, and for, I got to give the guy film, I don't know what the whole movie gives you, and if I'm just something of an idiot for not really being able to follow it based on the last 15 minutes, but it's beautifully shot. But I was like, I remember sitting there, like, trying to focus on it. It's like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, like I said, it has to deal with, like, the Tree of Life, and I think it has to deal with something else with, like, the Fountain of Youth or something weird like that.
And here's the funny thing, Dee, maybe you feel the same way. It was so confusing, I couldn't turn it off.
Okay.
I was the same way.
How confusing this gets.
Yeah, I was the same way. But you're right. The cinematography in it was amazing.
Yeah,
but I had no idea what was going on.
It's a nice looking movie, but in my mind I figured, we could just turn the sound down on this and put a little sound edit of like a Bjork song to it. Video.
Yeah.
It's like some confusing music video that's like very visual, and because I was like, I was starting to get frustrated, right? And my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing down there?" And I'm like, I have no idea.
No idea.
Well, yeah, especially like when he starts to like eat part of the bark of the tree and all that other stuff, and I was like, "What?
Who did this film?"
Darren Aronofsky, who did.
Yeah, I think it was Hugh Grant. Not Hugh Grant. It was.
I mean, here's the thing: we're watching Hugh Jackman, right?
Jackman,
mainstream A-list star, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? This is. I want to turn it off, but I can't. I wanted to see how bad this gets. I'm like mesmerized by it. But it's always good to see movies like that, because then you get up and you're like, we got no problem. We have nothing to worry about.
I feel great.
It's not as bad as Universal Soldier, though. I've got it pulled up right now, and
but Universal Soldier, for what it was worth,
hey, Dolph Lundgren's in that.
That the kids could follow.
Well, Dolph Lundgren's in it. Let's see. Jerry Orbach actually is in this film.
I actually saw that one out in the theater too, man.
Did you?
No kidding.
I saw it on cable.
Well, it was probably like $4 at the time. It was a very long time ago.
Look, once again, the Germans got 84 minutes. We got 103.
Yeah, of course.
I do not want to see that.
And it says Germany. It says heavily cut.
It's all about efficiency out there.
We meant to get back to work at 0600.
Wait. Here's a quote. Scott, you're dead. So
there's some pretty bad Colonel Klink impressions going on.
Yeah, I'm not really good with the accents.
Now, here we go. Here's the quote from the movie. Scott says, "You're dead, soldier." Luke says, "No, I'm alive." This is terrible.
I think the German version must have more ear trophies in it.
Maybe.
Do you remember the ears they kept around their necks? Or
no, I never saw the film, Chuck.
No, that's right.
I never saw it.
Chuck is all into this. I remember another Dolph Lundgren classic was that. Wasn't he in not He-Man
or Captain America?
Wasn't he in that Marlboro Man movie? What was it? The Harley Davidson.
Johnson and Mickey Rourke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. That's what I'm thinking of.
That's American film, Scott. Listen, you know what? We totally haven't given the phone lines out at all.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to do that right.
Not because we're not going to get. We're only going to get abused after this.
Yeah, well,
phone lines closed this episode.
Listen, we're talking to Ethan Dettenmaier tonight. The phone lines are open: 877-722-7382, 877-SCARE-U2, or 336-996-1596. Come on, call us about how you love Universal Soldier.
Just bring it. Let's get it on our.
Yeah, basically. Come on, call in, guys. Scott's still. I don't have a computer over here, so I can't really see what he's looking at.
Well, I'm looking at Dolph Lundgren's career right now. This man works a lot.
I'm not looking at IMDb.
Okay.
I'm looking at like a dark, sky blocked out by rain clouds, and you guys are like having a conversation amongst yourselves about different. Forget all that. Nobody cares. Dolph Lundgren, forget it.
I'm getting ready to pull up your favorite, The Heretic.
Yeah, bring it. All right. Woo.
John Boorman, what's he done?
John Boorman. How about Excalibur?
Did he do that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, he did The Heretic, too. Oh, my God, the phone lines are
blowing up. As mine gave out the numbers, here come the calls.
Oh, he did Taylor of Panama. I didn't realize that. That was a decent film. Let's see here. What else we got here? Excalibur, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Deliverance, Leah Last, Hell in the Pacific.
Have you seen Excalibur lately?
I have not.
No.
That's another one I happen to catch on cable. I don't watch a lot of TV, and I generally do it when my day ends, so it can be somewhere between like midnight and 2 a.m., going through paperwork and whatnot. And a lot of times that's when you see a lot of these real, gems of movies.
I know.
Right.
Caliber was on, and I hadn't seen that in a while. The first half of that movie is really, really well done, and that's another movie where the second half, I'm like,
what's going on
here?
Yeah.
Nothing makes any sense.
Have you seen it? You know it, right?
Yeah, I've seen part of it.
Yeah. I love that film, man.
Well, parts of it are amazing, but and one of the things they do real well is he ages well in that movie. It's very believable. Arthur's from when he's a kid to when at the end. But I'm watching that movie and I'm just like, what is going on here? There's like knights hanging from trees, and this guy's walking through these gates for a cup, and I get what that's what the mission is. But you know what I'm talking about, Chuck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Ethan,
totally.
we got one of your buddies on, man.
Yeah, we got a call.
Chris from Atlanta.
There he is.
Chris, how you doing?
Hey!
What's going on, man?
Hey, Chris.
Not a whole lot. I'm just doing the whole homeowner thing, school, work.
Go Falcons, man. Go Falcons.
Yeah, whatever.
man.
Anyways, someone needs
have they called you to interview you for the coaching job yet? They're calling everyone else.
They were scraping the bottom of the barrel with Jim Mora Jr. there.
I do have a spot in my day calendar to be able to take an interview if necessary.
We'll just pass on it. Everyone else is. Hey, listen, have you seen The Fountain, Chris? We were just talking about it.
I've seen parts of it.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're probably just as confused as I am.
Yeah, probably more so. I think that the only way to make that movie better would be recreational drugs, but...
I was just thinking that it's kind of like what I imagine you see after they stop your shock treatment in a way. It's like the intense craziness is over, and you kind of see these elaborate visions and these visuals that you can't really make sense, but you hear... great orchestral music, and you're trying to kind of focus in on a meaning, and there just isn't one because your
Philip Glass scored it.
We're having the writer on next week since they're all on strike. They don't have anything to do. No, yeah. They're all coming on our show.
What were you doing, man, with the Fountain? Do you like Bjork? Huh?
But the flip side of that is, like I said, I only saw the tail end of it, so I may be, I just had no idea. It's definitely not one of those movies. If you miss the beginning of that and you think, hey, let's watch this, forget it. You're just going to be even more disturbed and confused than you ever were.
That's fair.
What are we talking about?
I have to agree with you. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, we're talking about movies all night long. Have you seen Cloverfield yet?
No, have you?
No, I haven't, because I was hoping you had, so I could get your director's, writer's opinion of the whole Blair Witch Project meets Godzilla kind of thing.
I haven't seen it, but I did actually. I was with an executive producer friend of mine Saturday who did, and he loved it.
Really?
Yeah, he was just off the wall about it, and he was raving about it. So it's probably. You're probably less likely to hate you spent your money on it than, say, some of the other movies you're being offered right now. But
you mean like Universal Soldier?
No. What's a?
Well, if you're Chuck, Universal Soldier's a good fit for your Monday night.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you're plugged now.
Almanac, and you're going to tell me what the capital of Mongolia is.
That's Trent.
Trent.
Yeah, that would be me.
Trent, you got the capital of Mongolia?
Man, I probably know the capital of about 9% of the countries in the world.
Yeah, just pick one, man. He'll tell you what it is.
Probably.
You got the capital of Mongolia?
Yeah, Ethan,
What's
I
the
did.
capital of Honduras?
Tegucigalpa.
Oh,
see what I'm talking about,
on, bro?
Huh? Yeah, I'm pretty sure capital of Honduras.
Word, man.
You're just making it up on
No, it really is. It's Tegucigalpa. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Who knows we don't know, and he just
hang on.
some Aztec word meaning.
No, I've got some internet here to help us out. We're gonna check this out. I'm gonna check this out.
Let's get back to our caller. Let's give our caller.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, how much does a movie ticket run down there in Atlanta right now, Chris?
Well, it depends on what you're going to go see. If you're going to go see like an IMAX movie where it's the 3-story tall movie screen,
and few are worth it,
you're pushing $20.
Forget it. Good
Lord. Minimum.
We've still got a $3 theater here.
I know that I have gotten hooked on digital projectors. I went to go see, what was it? It was some action movie. I want to say it was National Treasure. I went to go see that in digital. the difference between a digital projector and your normal film projector is just, it's outstanding. It's phenomenal. It's like going from rabbit ears on your TV with like a coat hanger and some tinfoil on it to going to HD TV. It is just so amazing. So that usually goes about $15 here.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We still in Kernersville here. We still have a $3 theater that shows new movies. I just saw National Treasure.
You know what's playing in it is Stripes.
Oh no! I just saw National Treasure, the sequel there last week for $3. It was good. I liked it.
Well, they have to say.
It would probably save me some money if I drove up there and watched some movies with you guys.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe so.
What's a movie ticket price going for in LA right now?
About the same, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Which is a tough sell since most of it's crap.
Yeah.
complaining about paying $650.
I know. Stop complaining, guys.
Yeah, we're complaining about $650 at the other theaters here. You know.
Bad news.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, we're gonna take a break, and Chris, you want to stay with us?
Sure thing.
All right.
Yeah, stay with us, Chris.
Hang tight, guys. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back here on the World of the Unexplained in just a moment. And we're back. You're listening to World of the Unexplained tonight with Ethan Dettenmaier and Chris from Atlanta. What's going on?
Hey, guys.
So how's the weather down there, man? Did y'all get plummeted with snow like we did?
It's actually been insane. I want to say that I moved into my house on the 6th of January, and I distinctly remember that because I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt on the 6th of January.
Yeah, what's the deal with
now, today, it barely got above freezing. There is still ice and snow on the ground, and people are running around like, they're waiting for it. Like it's getting ready to be the day after tomorrow.
Excellent.
Well,
sorry.
It's like 17 here tonight.
What's it done for dogfighting attendance? Is it dropped? Are ticket sales back up for dogfights?
What?
Attendance is down, so
attendance is down.
We are getting a hamper on some of our sports here.
What do people more prefer to see, the Falcons or dogfighting?
I would want to say that they'd much rather want to see the dogs going after
Which
the
has a
Falcons.
better chance of winning? I guess I should say the Falcons or dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs.
Can the Falcons beat the Panthers? I guess is my next question.
Oh, anyone can beat the Panthers.
I by myself can beat the Carolina Panthers.
Joey Harrington did beat the Panthers this
and
season.
Can the Panthers beat Ohio State?
Yeah, dude. You put any pro team up against a college team, they'll win every time.
Well, they should. They're pro.
They should be, yeah.
That's my point.
Good.
And that's like saying that if you put the Falcons up against Notre Dame, who's going to win?
Yeah, they would. That's what I'm telling you.
The Falcons would beat Notre Dame.
You really think so?
I think the Falcons would beat Notre Dame.
They'd run the tables on any of them. They're professional athletes.
Even the Bengals.
I wouldn't know about professional.
I'd like to know what the over-under is on the Falcons-Notre Dame game, though.
Falcons by 6. I'm giving you my odds here.
These are the odds of Chuck,
Chuck
Mr.
Makers.
Universal Soldier expert.
Chuck the Sailor.
Soldier.
There's another weird film I saw a couple of years ago, and it was called Stalker, and it was by Andrei Tarkovsky.
Story of our friend's life. We're not going to mention any names.
No. It was a weird thing. I think it had something to do about aliens or genetic mutation, and it was Andrei Tarkovsky. I think that's the director, and it was probably one of the squirreliest films I'd seen in a long time. Honestly, huh?
What's it called?
It's called Stalker.
Stalker?
Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty squirrely film, and I don't really know what was going on with it for the most part, but, I just wanted to contribute that odd film since we're talking about The Fountain.
Not to be confused with Death Stalker.
No.
The Lana Clarkson film.
No. Stalker. It came out in the 80s or something like that. One of those
or to be
Soviet
confused
films.
with the Michael Vick film, The Dog Stalker.
Did you say The Dog Stalker?
No, I said The Dog Stalker.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm not Steven Seagal here. I'm not down with the slang. All right.
All right.
Ouch.
Hey, hold on a second for me.
I think he's got him there.
Uh-oh.
What?
I got to put down the phone for a second.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can feel free to talk about me for a minute. Hold on.
All right, cool.
Man, that Ethan. Man, what about him,
They're both just doing lines in the back room.
You're awful.
Chuck.
And Chuck, you're in rare form tonight.
I know, seriously. It must be the cold. It's the sailor hat.
It's this 3-day weekend, man.
Really?
It is.
Yeah. It gave you plenty of material to work with.
All day, man.
I mean, like, I understand, because I was sitting there like, yeah, or maybe just being holed up in the house and not being able to talk to anybody. So
All right,
you
I'm
just
back.
Okay. So, how you feeling there, Ethan? Feeling fine?
Somebody questioning me? Somebody's got something to say?
No, just checking. Just checking. How you doing?
Man, I'm very good.
Excellent.
How's Steven?
How's who?
Steven.
Steven's good. Don't question Steven. He's in it. He's good.
Just doing fine, huh?
I'm surprised he wasn't a Universal Soldier.
Yeah, you're just cutting everybody tonight, Chuck. What's up, dude? What is up?
I'm in a bad mood, man.
Obviously.
This election season's got me. Got my, the hairs on my backside. And
now, Chuck, you've got to tell the story about the restaurant that you threw the food at.
What?
See, Chuck's got this mean streak, dude. I mean, it's like he's the coolest guy you'll ever meet. He's got the long hair and just like laid back kind of guy.
And all of a sudden it's
like
Badger.
A stoner. He's
all of a sudden it's Badger rage.
It's all good, but yeah, he gets like something will happen and it'll twitch and it'll break and just snap over something little, and he'll get all mean, man. Tell us the story, dude.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
There's nothing really to it, man. They screwed up my order. They put meat on it at a time when I was not eating meat.
Well, that might have been the problem right there. Right?
And instead of screwing around, and actually, you know what? They remade it for me. That's what it was. They remade it for me. They still screwed it up. I wasn't going to have them go and spit in it and screw it up again.
So what does Chuck do?
Yeah, I threw it at the door to the, with the glass and everything. And it stuck there for a nice minute or two. I went back into my car and sat there and watched them clean it up.
What restaurant was this?
Taco Bell. It's not really a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Chuck.
So that's just mean.
Chuck, are you kidding me with your specialty orders at Taco Bell? Are you kidding me?
I know. It's a tall order.
And what the thing that blows me away is the I didn't want to wait for them to get it right at a fast food place. If I got to stand around for another 90 seconds,
forget it.
Put the cat meat out of the burrito. I mean, it's like, come on, Chuck.
But I waited for them to fix it, dude. They attempted to fix it. They still screwed it up the second time. I gave them an opening, man.
I want you to think long and hard about the single mother of 3 with no health insurance who had to clean up your mess because you could not wait for them to put it together.
It was some 19-year-old kid with a nose ring that came
That, like Ethan was saying, a single mother of 3.
His mother,
who's
who had to
probably
watch
still
her son clean up your mess because you couldn't keep your anger in check. Now, let me tell you, I'm a 6-year veteran of anger management. Let me tell you a couple of things.
Oh, Lord.
When they don't make your food properly on the first or second try, just take yourself a deep breath, count to 10, and just say, hey, this time it's for free.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Actually, that's what I've been doing lately, man. This was 10 years ago, man.
Yeah, but
this
is
when
really
I was a
funny.
young buck, man.
Why are we talking about this then?
I don't know.
It's just a great story, man.
Yeah.
2 days ago, man.
I thought it was like last year. I didn't realize
this
last week.
This was ancient history, man.
I didn't realize that.
Jay, you made this sound like this just happened.
Well, that's part of the radio intensity, man. You've got to keep everything in the box.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
time is sort of an irrelevant concept.
We don't need time.
I'm getting ready to reprimand Chuck, and you're Chuck probably didn't even have his driver's license when this happened.
Actually, this reminds me of the time that I was standing in the Rent-A-John at a haunted house, and Trent comes and drop kicks it. And
it wasn't me.
It shakes. No, well, I thought it was you. And
then
I get out and see this kid drop kick it and take off running again. I chased the kid, man. He got away. Lucky for him.
Yeah, that was that night that I got lost in the maze and I was speaking nothing but Russian, and people started thinking that I was part of the attraction. I was like bigger than the Michael Myers that they had gotten and the Jason Voorhees, and they thought that there was some kind of insane.
They wanted to hire you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. There was some kind of
in a maze and you were only speaking Russian.
Yeah, I was insane. Well, I was clearly way beyond, and I got lost in the maze, and I couldn't find my way out, and I was getting kind of ticked off. And
give me 2 minutes, and then we're all over it, okay? Surprise for you. I'll take care of it. Hello.
Anyway,
the early years of oh man, wow. Things you do in the past when you're young and stupid,
Or now when you're young, when you're stupid and not.
I don't behave like that.
Right.
Understandable. It's smarter not to be that way.
It is. And Mr. Anger Management out there. Chris, what's going on, man? You still with us?
I'm still here.
I'm just listening away. Stunned and shocked at our terrible behavior. But
all right, listen, if we're going to stay, if we're going to keep this show alive, our only hope is to bash some more terrible movies.
Okay, sounds good to me.
We can take it in, I think.
Let Chris off and see if we can get somebody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris, we're going to let you go, buddy. We're going to see if anybody else wants to call in.
Not a problem.
Thanks for calling, Chris.
Wait a minute, hold up. You're going to kick this guy out after he's put up with your nonsense?
Yeah.
You got to hear this ridiculous Taco Bell story, and you and Amaze speak in Russian, and now we're going to throw this guw off the line so somebody else can call in?
Well, the commercial break made up for all of that.
That's
so
right.
Cool.
Put him up.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Chris. See you later.
Does he get a World of the Unexplained T-shirt or something?
Do what?
Does he at least get a prize pack? Or?
We're working on the secret vampire detectors that we have. We can't tell anything more about it, Ethan.
They're that secret.
But they're vampire detectors.
It's really just blue dye and water.
You guys start giving away as your prize pack, like
Chuck. You just shut your
kind of like
mouth,
we give away
man.
our pride every night on this show.
Just don't be saying stuff about it, but it's top secret vampire detectors.
Got it.
877-722-7382. That's 877-SCARE-YOU-2 toll free, or locally 336-996-1596.
There was a movie that I was kind of forced to watch the other night, and I actually didn't finish watching it because, it's different when you kind of laugh at somebody, that's doing something stupid. Then you realize it's a hobo and he doesn't have any money or house, and then you feel bad about laughing about it.
There's just something really wrong about that.
Right, but you don't realize that at the time. But it was a Legally Blonde, red, white, and blonde or whatever. First of all, they made this film, the first film.
You were watching Legally Blonde 2.
Yeah, I was watching the sequel to a film that was already really crappy, and I just thought to myself, why in the world, if the film was so awful, why in the world did they make a second film, And I watched about an hour of it. I couldn't take any more, and I turned it to like Troy or something, which was a little bit better, but
Troy was an alright film,
but still. Anyway,
I think we got another caller, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just pointing that out. It's such an idiot movie, and then they made a sequel to an already idiot movie.
Hey, man, nothing like that, man.
I just can't understand it, really.
Well, it's always a financial decision, man.
Hey, man, we got Ron Paul Hunter from Raleigh, North Carolina. Ron, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Jay, what's going on? How are you guys tonight?
Doing good. What you got?
I've been listening to the show a little bit on the side, but I had to turn it down because this Democratic debate on CNN was is quite amazing.
Really?
What happened?
Well, it's still going on right now. They started out standing up. I made some notes, man. It was pretty good. They mixed it up a little bit.
Wait a minute, Ron. You're talking about the Democratic debate while Wotu's on? You're getting listeners going, what? Democratic debate? Okay, I'm going to flip it to there, man.
That show airs actually on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check
political stuff here, so I figured I'd watch the debate.
Oh my God. We got to make a mental note of this, that we're starting to lose our audience to politics. That's a very bad sign.
Look, I'm telling you, it's a great debate. You guys are going to see it on the replays. Obama just totally ruled Edwards.
Okay.
And
really?
He's been pretty good on dominating Hillary.
Really?
I think she, there's a couple of times he's had him sort of on the ropes and then let him go. It's kind of like watching, like watching something powerful play.
Because he's so green, man. He can't seal the deal.
No, I don't know, man. I'm just saying he's proven his power, and is saying he's not going to. I don't know. He's not really saying anything. He's letting them make their moves and then shutting them down, basically.
So, Ron, let me ask you a question. I mean, totally unrelated to this politics stuff, but I mean, what's a really awful movie that you've seen lately that you would like to contribute that you have not, we haven't been talking about lately?
Well, man,
one that we haven't thought.
I'm a big fan of awful movies. Like, some of the worst movies are some of my favorite ones. Or, like, I like the old movies, like, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Some people think that's a really stupid movie. I thought it was great.
Okay.
That doesn't quite qualify for this discussion because that's considered in some circles a classic.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's a classic.
We were basically talking about movies that have just completely left us baffled that somebody actually made it.
How about Children Under the Stairs?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there were some that I really had trouble sitting through and watching. I'll try to
forget that question, Chris. What is really Obama had him?
This isn't Chris. This is Ron.
Yeah.
Ron. Sorry, Chris is in front of me. Chris, flip out of here. Talking to Ron.
Okay.
I'm confused. See, Ron.
We just had Chris. Now we're talking to Ron. All right.
Ron.
Yes.
No, seriously, though, it's not a bad twist to give us a little political insight, because we're all interested.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, I'm saying...
Edwards took a beating, Hillary took a beating.
Edwards and Hillary both went up. It was like Obama challenged Edwards on economics and like his policy in North Carolina, basically, to paraphrase it, which I was hoping he would. And then he retreated. He gave some kind of lawyer code. Jay would have loved it. To Hillary to talk about he went for economic issues. So Hillary backed him up on the banking thing. It's like Hillary and Edwards were sort of having this back and forth code thing about you'll be the presidential candidate, I'll be the vice presidential candidate. And then Barack Obama's just sitting in the middle of it. But every time they confront him, he's really shut him down.
Okay, for full disclosure here, though, Ron Paul Hunter has expressed that he is a supporter of Barack Obama here.
I said tentatively
previously.
I don't see reason to change that.
So this is through the filter of a supporter of Barack Obama.
Well, listen, I mean, we only got about another 5 minutes, so we probably better wrap things up. So,
right on.
All right, thanks for calling, Ron.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it, buddy.
I was listening, man. I think the show's amazing. I would like to, if you guys ever decide to go a full week long, we should get as many people as you think are really the best top 5 guests or something, and try to extend the show more than one night, or make it a one night a week thing.
Okay.
Well, I'm out.
Night of the pods.
That's cool.
It.
That's very cool. Thanks for calling, Ron.
All right, man.
Top 5 guests. I'll take my walking papers now.
So, there we
go.
What are kind of awful movies? I mean,
Look,
there's so many you can't even count them all.
Speaking of Russian, actually, wasn't there that movie in the '80s where it was 2 comedians were picked up and transferred?
Oh,
it wasn't Spies Like Us.
No.
I almost want to say it was like
called?
Mel Gibson, but it wasn't him.
What the heck was?
What
that
are you
movie
talking
called?
about?
This film in the '80s where these 2 comedians were taken to this town that was like a mock-up of the Soviet Union. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember
John Travolta, I think.
Oh, it is John Travolta. What is the name of that film, Ethan?
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the title.
But that one's a bad one right there.
I've tried desperately to block that movie out. But Chuck has let it back into my subconscious.
Mr. Universal Soldier himself.
You can count on me for that.
I'd rather watch Universal Soldier, actually.
So, I mean, there's some kind of hierarchy, apparently, of bad films, to the point where, I'm not going to watch that, to the point where that's an idiotic film, and if I'm drinking, it'll be hilarious, but, then there's bad films just like, that's not worth my time. What was that movie, Scott, that we saw in the theaters, and I kept on telling, Scott, what are you doing over there?
I'm just drawing doodles of
He's drawing pictures of butts, it looks like.
I was thinking about you, Chuck.
Oh, my gosh.
I knew you were afraid that Brokeback Mountain was going to turn you
That's
gay.
right, yeah. Gosh, it's been scaring me to death.
Shaun Jeffrey left this conversation at just the right
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. No, but it was called Lost Souls, wasn't it, Scott? And I was sitting there, I was telling you, Scott, let's get out of this film. Come on, nothing's going to happen. It's a horrible movie. We got to leave.
I was like, no, man, it's got to get better.
It's got to get better. It's got to get better, man. And it never did.
It never got better.
Never did. I mean, I figured this out like at 45 minutes into the film, and it was a bad movie, but it wasn't even very fun.
It's like one cool scene.
Though, usually if a movie starts out horribly, it finishes horribly.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's very rare that it redeems itself on any level.
Yes.
Can you think of a movie where the first 30 minutes have just been god awful, and suddenly the end is just amazing?
No,
not really. I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. Even, yeah.
I mean, let me just, I think what you want to do is you want to immediately exit the theater, get your money back.
And try to find another film.
Before get your money, you got to get your money back within the first 60 minutes in California. I know, I've tested it. So you want to be able to make a fast exit. You want to basically rely on the fact that this movie is most likely not, despite my optimism, going to get better. And
I never thought they'd give you your money back. I never even tried.
Oh yeah, they'll give it right back to you.
Really? Huh.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I imagine it was early enough in it.
They give it right back to me. I mean, generally they give it right back to everyone, I would think.
If they just say, look, this movie's horrible.
Well, I never really asked for it back. I usually tell them they're giving it back.
You're giving me my money back. This film's awful.
Okay, we're going to test that theory.
Well, Ethan, we're running low on time here. We're about out. Check out your site. Any site you want to plug in particular?
Maybe I should just apologize to our listening audience for having an off night.
Oh, no. It was a good night. Good night.
It was great.
It was great. Thanks for coming on again.
Liars!
No, we're not lying.
Now, flatterers.
No, you know what, man? Tell your callers that didn't get a chance to have their calls answered. They can shoot a message to MySpace. My guys will get it to me, and I'll immediately, as soon as possible, get into it with them on anything they want to know.
All right, brother. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Take care.
Later.
Bye. All right, that was Ethan Dettenmaier, and we've got 30 seconds, man. That was close, close to the wire, man. Close. Old Barack Obama supporter himself there, Ron Paul Hunter. Oh, and there goes the phone line again. It's probably Ron.
Out of time.
Out of time, guys. Sorry. This is Jay Scott. You're only JDDJ on the OmniSound Radio 1 network.
This is Trent Lackey. I'm the Dolph Lundgren to the Jean-Claude Van Damme of this universal soldier we call Wotu. We're coming to you from Kernersville. Chuck.
We out.
Next week, Terry James. See you then.